Welcome to Face the Music, an Electric Light Orchestra song-by-song podcast. This is episode 000, Prologue. I'm Eric Paul Johnson.
My name's Eric Winsenson.
So this is going to be a really bare-bones podcast compared to what we're normally going to do. Because in my head I have opening music and I have jingles planned, and it's going to be fun to listen to. Because I've heard so many podcasts that are a chore to listen to. So we're going to tell you what we're going to do for this podcast. And we'll introduce ourselves. So everybody out there, you all will get to know the show. And you'll get to know us. And then next week, the full show actually goes in. Every week, we will take an E.L.O. song. And we will go in order that they were, released to the world. Starting with 10538 Overture. Going on to Look at Me Now, and then through each album until we get to the last E.L.O. song, which, the most recent one, because who knows if there'll be more E.L.O. albums by the time we reach the end of this. We're going to stick with E.L.O. I'm not going to go off on Jeff Lynne's side projects or the Traveling Wilburys or that other stuff, because if we go off into that, then we have to go off into other side projects by other E.L.O. members, and nobody wants to talk about Electric Light Orchestra Part 2. So what we'll do, play a snippet of a song, we'll give you the song facts, the meaning of the song, just recording just the whole kind of interesting trivia about it. Then me and Eric will discuss the song, we'll give our opinions of the song. Then we'll give you the chart information if it was released as a single. Talk about any remakes, play snippets of remakes. And also, and this is sort of an idea that I'm floating out there, since it's going to be me and you, and we're both into our 40s, since we've given the adult perspective, we'll give the survival of E.L.O. to go on and still be heard is on the youth of America. So we will have my 6-year-old stepdaughter give her opinion. And it's not going to take up much time. I'm pretty sure she's just going to say, I like it, or I hate it. And then we'll close out the show. And each podcast will be about 10 minutes, maybe 15, because at some point, when podcasts go on longer than an hour, and I don't know how we'd fill an hour talking about one song each, my brain just tunes it out. And it's just background noise. And I don't want to do that to people. Also, it really bugs me when they go off topic. There's a WKRP podcast that I listen to. And every week they start talking about the show and then they go off on this strange direction that has nothing to do with WKRP. So I'm going to keep it short. Other people have other podcasts to listen to. And we'll keep it around 10 minutes so that you can fit this show into your podcast listening schedule. Now, that's the show. Let's find out about us. This is like in class. Eric Winsenson, do you want to tell us about yourself?
Hi, my name's Eric Winsenson. I have been collecting records and various music-related things since I was 8 years old. And I've amassed a collection of getting close to 10,000 records right now, which entertains me, but does not entertain my wife very much, especially the few times that we have to move.
Yeah, I feel you. I only have 6 boxes of albums, and I don't want to have to deal with those again the next time I move. So
exactly. Try to think about how my moves actually go, especially since a lot of these things I haven't even listened to.
Yeah.
However, I have listened to the E.L.O. albums. And I do have some opinions on the various E.L.O. albums. I have every E.L.O. album except the one that Rock and Roll is King is off of. I don't have Balance of Power, and I don't have the most recent one, which I think came out a couple years ago.
Right. Secret Messages. I have that. I like Secret Messages. Most people are kind of about it, but I like it. You're not missing anything by not having Balance of Power. And I still don't have the most recent one. I still got to get that.
I'm one of those weirdos who thinks Discovery is one of their best albums, though.
I love Discovery. I mean, I'm not a big disco fan, but I even like the disco stuff. And I think his ballad stuff on Discovery is like some of the best E.L.O. ballads that he did. So I dig Discovery.
Well, also well, we'll get into it more when we get to the songs, but it also actually helps that in some cases on that album, his wanting to be the next Beatles pretty much comes to fruition.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm a big hater of Out of the Blues, so.
I like Out of the Blue fine. I know that like all the big E.L.O. fans are like, Out of the Blue is the best. And I'm kind of like, yeah, I like it, but A New World Record, Discovery, Time, El Dorado, I thought were much better than Out of the Blue.
Yeah, El Dorado's probably right up there with Discovery for my favorite.
Yeah.
But I'm a big prog fan, so that's probably their most prog record.
How into E.L.O. are you?
Not as much as you. My favorite band happens to be The Residents, which is something that most people listening to this are probably never going to hear.
Yeah, and I hatched this idea in November, and I put it out on Facebook. Would anybody listen? Does anybody want to like co-host with me? And when you chimed in and said, message me, I was like, yes, that would be perfect. I get a huge ELO boner, and I know that you like them. You don't hate them, but you're not like as crazy about them as I am. And I also know that you write really good reviews of music and movies and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a good contrast where you know what you're talking about, and my reviews are kind of like, the song made me happy. I like it. So I thought that this would be a good pairing.
Even though, yeah, that I'll have to keep from going off on side conversations about the move and the idol race and everything else that has ever been related to this.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly veer towards the move when we get to Do Ya, but yeah, it is going to be tough to just stick to the subject and not drift. What song are you looking forward to talking about?
Probably the El Dorado suite, the El Dorado and El Dorado finale. That's probably one of my favorites, and that's still before they really went full orchestra, when they still were mainly doing everything in-house and trying to make it sound as good as they could.
What song are you least looking forward to talking about?
Oh boy. I love Mr. Blue Sky, but the rest of that suite is almost intolerable.
Well, wait till you hear the opening music that I had planned. So do you get any questions for me?
Yes. Where do you come from, and what's your background?
I come from my mother. As for my background, I love music and I love records. Been collecting since 1979. And I'm actually pondering getting rid of my record albums. I still have singles. I don't want to get rid of those. But after moving them so many times, and there are so many that I haven't listened to. I mean, I have a beat-up copy of Frampton Comes Alive. In 30 years, it has never touched my turntable. I'm not a huge Frampton fan. Why do I have this taking up space? I just go through my stuff and maybe make some money off of it. As for E.L.O., I was born in 1969, so it's sort of like at the age of when I start to become aware of radio and what's around me, E.L.O. was starting to have their hits. So it's kind of like they were always there, and it's like, oh, I like that. But when I heard Time in 1982, and I know the nitpickers are going to say it came out in 81, yes, but I didn't hear the album until summer 82, and I was like, holy crap, that's freaking awesome! And it was in 1983 when I had bought Secret Messages and Discovery, and then I also had Time. A friend said, well, you going to start collecting E.L.O. now? And I thought, yeah, sure, why not? And it turned out to be a smart thing to do, because I really dig E.L.O. I got the record albums, I got the 8-tracks, CDs, singles. I even got a mini disc of Discovery, so I grab it when I see it.
Well, I've heard somebody else that grabs it when he sees it, but we won't discuss him at any point during the podcast.
No, we stick to the subject, E.L.O. Let's not drift. Got anything else? Because then if not, we can wrap this up.
I just look forward to hearing the overture. That's one of their albums their first album is one I haven't really listened to very much, and I'm looking forward to going through it here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this whole thing. I'm really jazzed up about doing this. I'm like, this is going to be fun. Or it could drag out so long, and it's like, why did I start this? But I'm excited about doing this. So if that's it, we'll wrap things up.
That's it.
Okay. Next week, episode 001, 10538 Overture.